What's going on, everyone? It's the Risen Dead 99, and I'm back finally. And today's gameplay is Cyberpunk 2077. This is basically just gonna be a little update video and a small wish list for Cyberpunk multiplayer. Basically, what I plan on doing for Cyberpunk is I can play the expansions and DLC when they come out, but that'll depend on what you guys. But I really think that what will be best is if the multiplayer is really good, like make videos on multiplayer, because I have big expectations for it in a way. But I did beat the Cyberpunk 2077 main story like yesterday on base PS4, I know, and this was with all the bugs and everything that has been going on with this game. It's had a rough launch. It was one of the most hyped up games of this generation, and it was just poorly optimized on the PS4 console that is originally advertised on. They said they focused more on the next gen upgrade, which is fine and is to be expected, but like they really should have spent more time on this, and they've acknowledged that there's 3 more patches about to come. Like there's one this month, one February, and I think a last one in March. I'm not entirely sure about that, but once those release, and it'll fix the game and everything. So, and then they'll start releasing the DLC. Excuse the poor drone. I hate when the cars just randomly stop. But anyway, it'll just be those will fix the game, and then they'll start releasing the multiplayer. I think in 2022 they said, and then the first expansion shortly after that. Then the PS5 upgrade, which I do plan on getting. So there's a lot to look forward to for this game if it gets the fixes it does. And remember that when Witcher 3 released, that had plenty of issues as well. But my Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer wish list, like I want them to keep Live Pass. I thought that was a really cool idea, and it brought more backstory to your character V. I personally for this one went with Street Kid, and as for the class system, I did more of a mix. Like I mixed in solo and hacking, as you can see with my Cyberdeck RAM. I found that to be the most effective for what I wanted to do in this game. Now when I do my other playthrough, I will do the Nomad and Corpo Life Path to see how those differ in the beginning, because I am interested. I haven't seen anything really on those. I just played my Street Kid playthrough. I enjoyed it despite the bugs, but yeah, that was I kind of hope they keep that for the multiplayer, but not have your character V, but have your character as like a different person that's coming to Night City, kind of like in say GTA Online. I'm gonna make a lot of references to that because they can really build off that, because that's a good template, you can say. I don't want this multiplayer to be like GTA Online, but I want to have some of the aspects of it, you know. A big thing in some of these multiplayer games, like the character does not talk. Your character in GTA Online doesn't talk. Character in Red Dead 2 Online doesn't talk. Just give us a voice, like make it that much more like involved, I guess, as I die by mine that I somehow didn't see. But if our character in the multiplayer has a voice, that'll just make me more immersed in it and make it a little bit more fun. Not saying that having a voice takes that much away from it. It's just annoying, like when you talk to say like a fixer in this game to get a job, then you're just a mute character just nodding your head. Like it's gonna be pointless and it's gonna be annoying. But I hope our character has some dialogue. You can use the same voice actors for the male and female V. I don't really care. But another thing is, like I also felt like in the single player that the gangs weren't really that big of a deal like I thought they were gonna be. Like yeah, they control each district, you know, but like other than like maybe some gigs would deal with like say like a Tiger Claw, some deal with Valentinos, but like you didn't really feel like their presence, if that makes sense. And I want in the multiplayer for us to be able to choose a gang that we want to play with. Like I feel like that should matter more in the multiplayer. Like if we say join the Maelstrom gang, then we'll be able to have these certain cybernetic upgrades. Or if we join the Valentinos, that will have something to do with it too. But yeah, I just want those to have more of a meaning in the multiplayer. Not saying they didn't mean anything in the single player, because they did, but I'm just saying like you didn't really feel like they're really that much involved, if that makes sense. But and as for the fixers, I mentioned them earlier just a second ago. As for the fixers, they should be treated like contacts, like in GTA Online. Like you had Lamar, you had Lester, you had the one at the very beginning when Lamar drops you off at the airport. I forget his name, but fixers should be treated like that. Like as you level up and become more noticeable in the street, then that's when fixers start reaching out to you. And maybe your gang affiliation will determine the type of fixers you get right off the bat, and maybe down the line as you level up more, you'll get more and more fixers, if that makes sense. Like say if you join like the Valentino's gang, your fixer right off the bat may be Padre. Like that would be kind of cool to make that tie in a little bit more. But if you went with like the Maelstrom gang, obviously you'll be taking orders from probably Royce, you know. So I think that'd be cool. And as you level up, you get more and more fixers like Ocado, Mr. Han, and a couple others. Dakota was one in the Badlands. And I want another thing, like in terms of leveling, I want the leveling to kind of stay the same like it is in the single player. Like keep street cred, keep a separate leveling system. Like street cred can be how you unlock, say, like certain cars, certain guns, certain cybernetic upgrades, like it does in the single player. And also along with the street cred, it did in single player too, that you can unlock, like what I said with cars, like your fixer can call you about, hey, I got this car for sale, you can go buy this because you're at this certain level. You know, that'd be something cool, a little bit more immersive. And also, this isn't on my list, but like keep it first person. I didn't mind the first person perspective. It was nice. Like it was different for a game like this. For an RPG game, they're typically third person. So for this to be first person was pretty, not risky, but like it was different. And I personally liked it. So keep that the same. Keep the leveling system the same. I know the multiplayer is gonna be a separate project and we'll have microtransactions. But I don't want it to be like GTA Online where you feel like you have to buy a shark card to buy, say, the jet, to buy a Zentorno, or the new cars that come out. I want eddies to be more easier to earn. Like the higher you level up, that'll be the higher difficulty of jobs you get per se. You know, and the higher difficulty of gigs, thus giving you more eddies. Because I felt like in a single player, like you could earn eddies at a pretty good rate. You know, there's one point in the single player where it was like, I was like about halfway through with the main story. I was up to like 80,000 eddies, and I decided to like spend it on cybernetic upgrades, which, you know, that's what you want to do. As I find a sick, smart weapon that I haven't really found much of, and I decide those are the guns. Like, I like that tech precision rifle I'm holding. That thing's deadly. But anyway, what was I saying? Got sidetracked there. But yeah, make eddies easier to earn. Like I don't want us to have to rely solely on like the microtransaction side to buy eddies, because I'm pretty sure that's how they're gonna do it. Like that would make the most sense, and also like allow us. I think they will. Like obviously they're gonna allow us to buy cars. Like they have to. We did in single player, so it wouldn't make any sense for them to not allow us to buy cars, but allow us to buy properties. Like there's a certain side quest line in the single player where you actually go to like Corpo Plaza and you go into one of those like suites, they're called, and that was a nice area. Like that was a really nice apartment to have. Like I would like that to be a thing like right off the bat, you know, like let us buy apartments or like a mansion in North Oak, because that basically looks like Hollywood to me, or Vinewood as it would be in GTA. But just allow us to buy like certain apartments and things like that, like right off the bat. Like don't add them later in an update. Just have that prepared. Like I know they have a lot to go through right now. CD Projekt Red's currently, I think, going through like a class action lawsuit because of the misinformation about the game on current gen consoles. Which, I mean, it's warranted. Like let's just be fair here. Like they should have optimized it further. And they didn't, but I know they have a lot on their plate right now, but I know with the updates coming out that they'll stabilize the game optimize it a bit more for these consoles. And I hope the multiplayer is available for people on these consoles. I'm pretty sure they will, because not a lot of people are going to have, like, say, a PS5 or Xbox Series S or X right off the bat. Because I know I won't. Like, this is PS4 gameplay, and I'm sure you've seen some of the textures take a while to load in and whatnot, and just be buggy, because that's how the game is. And it's unfortunate, because I think this game is amazing, and it doesn't deserve this, but part of it is on the developers. And I was expecting that gig to be a little bit more in depth. You know, like, that gig was just sneaking around and finding something. That's typically what the gigs are, unfortunately. Like, some of them are kind of cool, some of them aren't. Like, I found the further I went in the game, the better they got. But I'm gonna do a side job for you guys, so give me a second. Alright, I'm doing Killing in the Name. That's a side job. I've had that side job for a while, so I'm gonna head to that real quick as I spin out control. And that's another thing they need to fix. Like, the driving in this game is kind of suspect. Like, the driving in this game, like, you feel like you have little controller, especially in this, like, Bugatti, I guess it is. Like, I found this for free. Like, there's a certain area you can go to in the Badlands that you can find this car and it just gives it to you, which is pretty awesome. So that's how I have this car. But yeah, the driving is a little suspect. Gunplay's fine when the frames don't drop. Like, there's sometimes when I use, like, my arm upgrade to shoot grenades that it, like, frame drops a lot. And speaking of textures, like, that wall hasn't loaded in. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. As for the multiplayer, like, speaking of the cyberware that I brought up with my, like, I have that grenade launcher arm in my left arm. And that's probably one of my favorites. I obviously haven't used them all because it's just my first playthrough, but that's the one I want to use first. Keep the cybernetic upgrades the same. Like I said before with the leveling, you can level up and earn different, better upgrades, and just have it like full range of what you want. And keep the arm one the same. Like, you want gorilla arms, that's the only one you can have. And if you want to add the grenade launcher, that'd be the only one you can have. If you want to add the mono wire, that's the only one you can have. Mantis blades, same way. But I'm pretty sure they'll do that, because that's what this game is about, like, being a mercenary and fully upgrading your body if you want. The only thing I wish they did, besides like that initial one you get in your hand, that ballistic compressor or whatever it's called, like, they did that little scene with Vic. I wish they did that for every single one. I mean, not to get, like, too graphic, you know, but it would have been kind of, in a way, kind of cool to see how they, like, implement those cybernetics into your body. But that's just a nitpicky thing. But other than that, keep those the same. And I know that they said microtransactions always could be in a game, as stated before. And the only thing I hope with those is that they stay purely cosmetic. I'm sure they will. Like, I don't mind, like buying Eddies if I want, like, a certain car, or like something like that, or like, say, like a cool, like, jacket or something like that. I just don't want any, like, kind of like how Call of Duty used to do, and still do in a way, like DLC type weapons. I don't want anything added like that if it's not free. Like that, like if you can earn them through playtime, that's fine. But as long as they don't, like, break the game, you know what I'm saying? But keep them purely cosmetic. Like, I don't mind, like, say you have, like, a certain like rifle, like that Tech Precision, I would say they added, like, a skin for that. Like, that's fine. Like, cosmetics like that are fine as long as they don't alter gameplay in any way. But I'm sure that's the way they're going to microtransactions. And in terms of, like, the DLC and stuff, like I said at the beginning of the video, when they finally released the patches, like this month in January, and then in February, and I think there might be one more in March. Like, once those three are released, they can start focusing on expansions and the multiplayer more. And in terms of, like, the expansions, I want those to like, be their own thing, obviously, and they're gonna be awesome. Like, I know they are, because I haven't played The Witcher 3, but I heard good things about their expansions. But I want the expansions for this game to tie into the multiplayer. Like, I want it to add to the multiplayer world. Like, so I hope in a way that they release the multiplayer after both expansions, because I think they said there's gonna be like 2 or 3. Which, if they do go that route, I think would be best. Like, I would honestly like that a bit more. But yeah, just have the single player expansions and DLC go into the multiplayer, like expand the multiplayer. Like, that'd be a cool way to do that. And like in terms of side jobs and things, like side jobs and gigs, like I'm doing right now, this side job, like those are also gonna be in the multiplayer. Like, I think like some of these are pretty fun. Like I said, some of the gigs are kind of boring, but as you level up and go through the game, they get better. The side jobs are probably the best thing. Like, some of the quest lines are really cool. Like, something like there's two. I have two favorite ones. I'm scared to say too much, but I feel like at this point, like, some people have gotten there. But Pandam's questline and Judy's questline are probably my two favorite. But I'm not gonna elaborate too much on those. But if they have questlines like that in the multiplayer, that'd be cool. Like, just don't give us random jobs. Like, actually have like a point to it. Like, Red Dead 2 online tried to do that, but me and my friend tried to go through that story, and it was just so uninteresting, and it didn't really add to the multiplayer in a way. I mean, it did, but it didn't. Like, it was just so meh. And if this has like a quest line, if this multiplayer has a quest line, I'm all for it. Like, that's completely fine. Like, I don't care. Like, if it has its own story, that's fine. As long as it's done properly, which CDPR can do, I know. And I just think I just think quest lines and a story on its own would be awesome for this game. In terms of like Johnny, as I see him on the screen right now as I'm playing this, Johnny was such a cool character, and I personally hope that he comes back in the multiplayer. I don't know how that would work, you know, since like V in the single player can seize him, as we all know. You know, like, that's literally the introduction. Like, that's the reason, like, you're trying to find out this relic. But I hope he's in the multiplayer somehow. I hope Jackie makes a return in the multiplayer, you know, because Jackie deserved more screen time than what he got, in my opinion. Jackie was a cool character. I hope characters like that make it to this multiplayer. Like, I mean, it's freaking Keanu Reeves. How can you not like Keanu Reeves, you know? But yeah, like, that's just a small little wish list I had. I mean, I'm sure I can think of some more things. Like, you can keep like the hacking the same, keep a lot of the things the same. The hacking in this game is actually, once you've got the hang of it, is actually not that bad. Like, the hacking is actually pretty fun. Like, that's why I wanted to go a solo / netrunner route. Like, I did like a mix, because I can be able to fire a gun like this and take a lot of damage. Like, I have like 600 some armor with this, and I know with a netrunner build you're not gonna be able to have that. So the class system, I think, will stay the same in multiplayer. Like, you have to think of like how you want to run certain things. And I don't know what I was thinking with that shotgun shooting it up there. I about die here. But I hope they keep the class system thing. The class system is actually really well thought out. Like, some of the perks really make a difference. I didn't get to use all of them in this playthrough because, as you can see, I'm only like a level 30. Like, some of the gigs don't give you a lot of XP and things like that, so I wasn't able to get to some of the perks I wanted, but some of the perks actually really helped. Like, I couldn't make it. There's some like epic like yellow or orange pistol. I think it's like an orange type color, like of the crash power revolver, that I couldn't make because I didn't have a certain perk. So like that kind of sucked. But just keep the class system the same, you know, because it added good variety. Like, I feel like in my on my other playthroughs, like, I'm gonna go strictly like a netrunner route and then strictly a solo route and see what the difference is. Like, I have an idea what I want to do, what playthrough I want to do each of those in, like what would make sense in any way. But yeah, man, like, this multiplayer, I think can be very, very good. I think it can be better than GTA Online if done properly, and that's saying a lot because GTA Online is highly successful, as we all know. And at this point, like, I think some of us can agree that Rockstar is just milking it at this point. Like, some of the clips I see, it's just like flying cars and motorcycles. I'm just like, that's not GTA anymore. Like, flying cars and stuff like that make more sense in this multiplayer than it would GTA, in my opinion. That's my opinion. You can take my opinion for a grain of salt. Like, it doesn't really matter to me. But, like, yeah, so I just decided to make this video as like a little update. Like, I plan on doing some Cyberpunk multiplayer when that comes out, hopefully on a PlayStation 5. Hopefully plan on doing the expansions if you guys want them, Like, that's up to you guys. I could even potentially do like one of my 2 playthroughs on my channel. Like, I don't want to become like strictly a Cyberpunk channel, but I'm leaning towards that because I feel like if the Cyberpunk multiplayer is really successful, then that could help me like grow my channel, because I do want to grow this channel. But I also just want to have fun. Like, I don't want to be tied down to one game. Like, there's something that comes out that I want to give a try, then I want to be able to do that. So, and I plan on hopefully uploading a bit more. It's gonna be tough playing baseball at my school in college and keeping up with schoolwork. I'm gonna try and keep an upload schedule of maybe 3 days a week. I'll see once I get there, like if I can come up with some like certain videos. Like I may do like some Rogue Company. I do like that game. It'll just depend. Like the Wi-Fi at my school is a lot worse than what I have at home, so we'll just have to see. But I do hope to upload a bit more for you guys. I learned a few more tricks in editing. Been playing around just making fake videos, like trying out some editings, and I put some of those aspects into here. And I hope you guys can notice a difference that looks more professional in that sense. But yeah, like that's what I plan on doing. Oh, and I almost forgot, for the Cyberpunk multiplayer. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, sip of water. But in terms of the Cyberpunk multiplayer, like GTA has heist. Like that would be such a cool thing to implement into this multiplayer as well. Like have heist, like have us, I don't know, rob the Arasaka Tower. You know, take something from them. Have us rob Militech. Have us do this, do that. Like if they come with some really creative things, like that would really help push this multiplayer to where I think it can go. Like I'm not saying it'll kill GTA Online completely, but it'll give it a good little run for its money, and maybe hopefully force Rockstar to release GTA 6, because GTA 5 at this point has survived literally what, PS3, PS4, PS5, 3 console generations, and like in the time that GTA 5 has existed, like they used to be released like a GTA like every 2 years or something, but now it's been like close to 8. Like it's been 8 or 9 now, since this is 2021. But Rockstar just needs to release a GTA 6. But anyway, like this multiplayer can help compete with GTA Online, because I think there'd be a big fan base for it. Because a lot of people follow CDPR like a cult, basically, and that's even with all this stuff going on. But yeah, I think this multiplayer has a lot of potential. I've said that from the jump. I've told numerous friends of mine, like if it's done correctly, it can literally give GTA a run for its money. But anyway, that's what I plan on doing. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. I know it's been just me, my V, just walking around scanning stuff, but I tried to implement some combat in there, and I think done an okay job at it. Like I didn't expect this side job to go on this long. Like I literally picked the longest one.
Christ, finally.
Yeah, finally. I'm still not done with it. I don't think anyway. I don't know. It's not looking like it. But yeah, like this multiplayer can be good for my channel. It can be good in general. You know, for CDPR, it can help restore faith a little bit. Because some people lost faith in CDPR after the debacle that this game was. It didn't flop completely, because they made a profit, even with the refunds. They made a profit in one day. Like, it was one of the most highly anticipated games. It was just not optimized for the console I'm playing on personally. Like, it was really only optimized for PC, because PC players have been enjoying it, and rightfully so, because they have the new graphics card. Their systems can run it. This system cannot. Excuse me. But yeah, this video was made a little bit longer, just so I could cover everything I wanted to in terms of like update for my channel, and update in terms of like what I plan on doing and where I've been. Like I've just been busy with school and everything. Like my college is still open even with the pandemic going on, which I may not completely agree with, but you know, it is what it is. I love playing baseball, so I'm kind of happy in a way. Like we'll just have to see how it goes. And in terms of like being home, like I'm home right now, obviously. Like, I go back in a couple days to school. But my excuse me, my setup down here. One sec.
And signal leads to another place.
My setup down here,
Hey,
basically just a TV and a TV stand. Like, I'm using, like, I don't really have much. I'm trying to upgrade it, trying to sell this TV and TV stand to have put a desk in here and monitor, and then upgrade to like a capture card, then have a capture card, PC. Like, basically I have like 2 monitors, a console, a PC, capture card, and stream deck. Like, that's my goal. That's my long-term goal for myself, to help grow my channel. Like, I do have goals for this decade and for this year. I do plan on growing my channel. Do plan on maybe dabble into streaming, see how that goes. I don't know if my internet can handle it, because I know you need certain internet to help run that. But I'm just gonna stick with videos for right now. If things start going well, then I'll go more and more into streaming and putting out content maybe 5 days a week instead of 3. But I'm gonna try 3 for now, 3 to 4. You know, just be sure I just have enough time for myself and for my baseball team and for schoolwork. So for right now, while I'm at school, I'm gonna be making just videos like this, like editing and things like that. Like, I'm actually having fun editing, so it may be easier than before, because I know how to do videos more properly, I can say, as I can drive fantastically. Driving this game, man, something else. But yeah, like, that's where I've been. That's what my plans are for this video. And I think we're hopefully coming to the end of this side job. I literally picked the longest one, it feels like, for a video like this. But again, it helped me get out the points I need to get out. If you like this video, if you like Cyberpunk and want to see more of it on my channel, be sure to like this video, subscribe and things like that. It really helps out a lot. Just comment down below whether you'd like to see some ideas, like something like a series idea or something like that too. But yeah, that's basically what I have. Like I said, like the video, subscribe. I just had a lot to cover in this video, so that's another reason why I had to make it as long as I did. Like, I didn't want to end it after that first gig I did, because that didn't give me enough time. But in terms of like the story of this game, I really enjoyed the story, enjoyed all the characters. The choices got difficult and at some points, like, it really made you think, which was cool. I liked it. And in some points I didn't like it because I had to pause it and rethink of what I had to do. But I like the ending I got. I enjoyed it for my first playthrough. It was a satisfying ending for my first playthrough. So I'm interested to see what the other endings are, because I know there's multiple endings. It's one of those games, kind of like The Witcher was. And again, my favorite character is probably Johnny. Like, Keanu Reeves did so cool. It was so cool to see in this game. And obviously that was one of their big selling points. Like, hey, Keanu Reeves is in our game. Hope you enjoy. Excuse me.
Must have tampered with this thing.
Seriously? What, you think you're gonna find a jack in a box who
But
wants to become a real boy?
like I said, I enjoyed this game despite its bugs.
What are you waiting for? See what secrets
But like, it's really unfortunate what this game went through. And I know it's not. It is mostly the dev's fault, but then again, like, I feel like part of the reason, like, they knew if they delayed it again, then more fans would just back out of the project. So they said they didn't feel pressure though. So I don't know. It's hard to say, but I feel like this game with time is gonna get better, like The Witcher 3 did. The plans they have for it can really help this game prosper and actually grow a pretty good sized community for it, especially with the multiplayer, which what I'll be focusing on. But like I said, if you guys want to see the expansions, I'll be sure to do that along with the multiplayer whenever it releases, hopefully on the PlayStation 5. Get that gameplay with that next gen upgrade. The next gen upgrade is going to look beautiful, and that's why I'm kind of waiting to do my second playthrough till then, so I can experience the game how the developers intended. But I think I think I deserve a little bit of reward for what I went through with this game. All the like it crashed on me literally within the first week. Crashed on me like 5 times. All the textures not loading properly. It was just a lot to go through, but I powered through. I played worse games with worse bugs. Like I played the first Homefront, all right, on the PS3, and that was one of the most buggy shooters I've ever played. And I still enjoyed. I enjoyed the story of it, so that's why I was so invested in it. But like I played games with bugs, and so they're nothing new to me. Like I understand a lot of people's frustrations with it. I really do. And I was talking to my friend the other day, and he was just like, I just lost interest because of how the bugs are. And I'm like, that's completely fine. Like, you know, I understand completely. Like, I would want to wait too if I were you, but I didn't, you know. But I'm not going to bash anyone that feels that way. Like, it's rightfully so. And like I said, with the updates coming out here this month and next month, and maybe March, this game will be in a lot better state. You know, and a lot of people will go back to it because I know it's lost a lot of its player base. I mean, for it being a single-player game right now, it's to be expected people play it and get what they want out of it, then go on. But then there's gonna be the hardcore fans that do more than one playthrough, like I will. But anyway, as I come to the end of this, finally, of this long side job, it was just as I come to the end of it. I hope you guys enjoy. Hope you leave a like. Hope you comment. Hope you subscribe. And this has been Arisen Dead 99. And man, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.